this extraordinary honor. Thank you, Mr. President, for encouraging high standards and innovation in public education. There is nothing more important to our country than public educational excellence. And Mr. President, thank you so much for your generous time speaking with our children. We spent a lot more time upstairs than had been planned, so I thank the audience for your patience. But the President felt it was important to go into every classroom and meet every student, which really just... This is an experience that our entire community at Harlem Village Academy will remember for the rest of our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
I have had a remarkable experience here at Harlem Village Academy Charter School. You know, it's interesting, one of the children said, "Why here? Why did you come here, Mr. President? Well, all the schools in the country, why this school?" And my answer is because the President has an opportunity to herald excellence, and I have seized that opportunity. I have come to a school where some may say, these children can't possibly exceed high standards, but in fact they are. Secondly, I wanted to be nice to the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. I think anytime I can thank a teacher, I need to do so. So for the teachers here, thank you for teaching. This week is called National Charter School Week. I mean, next week is called National Charter School Week. So, good way to herald National Charter School Week is come to a charter school. Particularly one that's working. I'm a big believer in charter schools. I think charter schools make a lot of sense, whether it be here in Harlem or anywhere else in the United States. And so a way to express support for a charter school is to come to one that's working. And say to people, if you find excellence, you might want to take a look at why. What is it about this school that enables a parent to say, I really enjoy sending my child here? Or what is it about this school where a child looks at the President and says, I don't mind being tested because I know that they're going to help correct problems early before it's too late. This school is working, and I appreciate you letting me come to talk about not only this school, but also about an important piece of legislation called the No Child Left Behind Act. Before I do so, I thank Deborah for being what I call an educational entrepreneur. So I said to Deborah, you know, I've never met Deborah before, and I said, like, how did you get involved in this school? She had a personal tragedy, and rather than allowing the personal tragedy to drag her down, she said, I want to make a contribution, and I can't think of a better contribution than to help start a charter school. As a matter of fact, not only one, but two. I also thought it was interesting, she said, if you're going to be somebody who helps start charter schools and works to make charter schools excellent, that you better be on the front lines of education. So she became the principal of this school. If you're interested in helping your community, whether you be an individual, such as Deborah, or a corporation, for example, promote school excellence. Do something for the community in which you live. A lot of times, if you wait for government, things won't happen. She's proven my case. She says, I want to be involved and I want to start some schools. Corporate America needs to take the same interest in local schools if they expect it. Mateo Myers introduces Dr. Kinney and introduces me. Mateo Myers. So I said to a lot of the kids here at this school, how many of you want to go to college? They all raised their hand. That's a good sign. In other words, this school believes in high expectations and putting in a child's mind the possibilities of achieving a dream. I appreciate very much Joel Klein, You talk about a guy who has taken on a tough job, and in my judgment, my humble judgment, is doing it with excellence, is Joel Klein. As a result of that endorsement, he may never find work again in New York. See, I love it when somebody heralds that which is working and takes on that which is not working. I like a man who says the status quo is unacceptable when it's unacceptable, and is willing to do hard work, all aimed at making sure every child gets a good education. And we appreciate the standards you set, and appreciate the example you have shown, Joel. I want to thank Ed Lewis, chairman of Village Academies. Ed Lewis is a successful businessman who, instead of taking his successes and disappearing, has taken his successes and used that which enabled him to be successful to plow back into a community. And that's an example of what other people do. People say to me all the time, what can I do, Mr. President? How can I contribute? Well, if you want to contribute, work on school excellence. I can't think of a better way to contribute to the future of the United States than to promote alternatives if the school systems in your community isn't working. In other words, just don't set the status quo. If children are not meeting standards, challenge that status quo and do something about it. I appreciate very much Nick Timpone, who's the principal. That's a good sign. I got to be worried about the silence, you know. It turns out that good schools such as this have good principals. People who work hard, people who motivate the teaching staff, people who listen to parents. And I appreciate you very much being at the center of this important school. Traveling with me today is Secretary of Education Margaret Spellings. I appreciate you coming out. Our job is to work with local school districts, so that the federal, state, and local relationship is a collaborative relationship that actually works and doesn't get in each other's way. And her job is to implement No Child Left Behind. And I couldn't have picked anybody better to do so. I want to thank again Charlie Rangel. He is a chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. You can imagine what it's like traveling in the presidential limousine down Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard, hearing Rangel say, I was raised over here, and here's the hotel I worked in when I was a boy. You know, the people in Harlem have got a fantastic congressman in Charles Rangel. He cares. I'll agree with me a few more times, but I don't expect him to. But I do expect him to do what he does, which is work for the good of the country. And I'm really proud to be with you. Thanks for coming. Congressman Peter King and Vito Fasella is with us today. Both these congressmen. I appreciate the members of the New York Charter School community who've taken time to come. I want to thank the Harlem community leaders who have joined us today. Thanks for letting me be here. I particularly want to thank the students for letting me come by to say hello. I've really enjoyed my trip here, and you've impressed me. I do want to say something about Virginia Tech, the Virginia Tech community. It's a community that still hurts, and people in Blacksburg, Virginia must know that citizens, whether they be in Harlem or anywhere else in the country, still hold these folks in their prayers. Schools should be places of safety. It should be a sanctuary of learning. And when that sanctuary is violated, the impact is felt all across the country. It's felt in every classroom. And I know you've worried about such violence here as a result of the Virginia Tech. And I want to thank the principals and teachers for reacting and helping calm nerves and assure people that this is a place of safety and a sanctuary for learning. I have asked people in my administration to travel around the country to listen to folks at the state and local level to determine what lessons can be learned from the Virginia Tech horror. Margaret Spellings is going to be a part